Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the electrifying main event of the evening. We are live from the legendary Daytona International Speedway for the highly anticipated Thank You Veterans 200, presented by Tom Dixon. This race is sanctioned by the National Superspeedway Racing Association Sunday Select Series, led by the esteemed David Overstreet. And now, for those in attendance and NSRA fans watching around the globe, watching on SCSRA, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Kick, get ready for a spectacle like no other. This is the moment we've all been waiting for, as 16 playoff drivers among a talented field will embark on an 80-lap battle to secure their standing for the next round. Now for the rules. All restarts will be on green. No changing lanes until after crossing the start-finish line. Drivers, communicate your pits. Remember, no pitting from the outside lane. Whenever possible, stay to the far right on pit lane. Caution flags will be thrown for wrecks involving more than 2 cars until 5 laps to go. After that, iRacing cautions only. When a caution is thrown, maintain your position as you catch up to the pace car. After a caution is thrown, exercise caution and slow down to avoid wrecks. Avoid ARCA braking and be aware of your surroundings. If you have significant damage and cannot maintain speed, request an EOL to avoid unnecessary black flags. Black flags will only be cleared for passing under yellow and entering the pits during a wreck. We emphasize a culture of respect in this racing community. Absolutely no flaming or calling out other drivers. A simple "I'm sorry" goes a long way if you cause a caution. For a comprehensive overview of league rules, please visit our Facebook page or join our Discord community. Thank you to all the drivers participating in tonight's race. It's time to unleash the thrill and excitement of racing at Daytona International Speedway. Let's roll.
All right, well, without a doubt, I've muted myself. I've unmuted me and Hartney. I'm sitting here dealing with a bunch of technical issues, but we are green. We made it through our grid. We've got 80 exciting laps for playoffs round 1. So let us know how you feel about that intro we had tonight, as that was brought in by league owner. So we may ask him to do it a couple times. We're going to try to keep the cameras tonight on the Daytona 500 view. As right now, Servant and Hunter Reynolds battling for the lead up front. You've got Tom Dixon and Mark Mann, they're pushers. And this is going to be an exciting 80 laps. Saw this week that they had a... Yes, Hartney does still love upper deckers. You are correct. I'll tell you what, we are not going back to restream because look at these beautiful graphics. I can see I've got 5 on YouTube, I've got 1 on Twitch, and 1 on Facebook. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Everything's working. Restream, you're dead to me. Sorry, Hartney.
Yeah, it didn't. I tried. It didn't go well. We're making some changes, man.
But you know what? We figured out a workaround, and we're still streaming on all 3, and you input everything, so it kind of works out for us.
Yep, works out for me.
As already, these guys coming to the completion of lap 2. Reynolds, and Servant. They're going to still battle up at the front. All playoff drivers, like every league, are going to be marked with that designated P. They've got a P. They are racing for a championship. And right now, our top 8 all playoff drivers. As they're riding side by side. Daytona, how long till these guys try to maybe push this thing a little bit 3 wide, huh?
Well, being the beginning of the playoffs, I think they're going to take it easier for a little while, but it's not going to be long. Well, it might be. I maybe half the race, I think the guys are going to stay calm and just kind of ride it out.
Daytona, not an easy track to push it 3 wide, but we know it's doable. It's definitely possible. And look how tight they're getting now as they're going 2 by 2. And, well, we saw one pop up, try to maybe take a look to go to the high side, and said, nah, I'm good. I'm coming right back down. And that car was the 25 of Larry Milk Dud Dickerson, who is in the playoffs. We're going to have to do something about that. That is a name to read. We're just going to go with Milk Dud. As you can see, that bottom line definitely a lot more form than the top line right now. Tonight's race, a thank you to all veterans who have served, still serving. So you know what? We're going to fly Old Glory up in the corner the entire race as it does a little spin.
Love it.
With Memorial Day right around the corner. You know, everybody always mixes Veterans Day and Memorial Day up. You know, veterans are, well, okay, we served, we did our job. Well, Memorial Day, they paid the ultimate sacrifice for the country. So, Memorial Day is coming up in a couple weeks. And tonight, the league honoring veterans. Which you know we do quite often here at SCSRA Broadcasting. We got some commercials. We've got the I Got Your Sixth. I believe, even Tony Starch, he's got a couple shirts. Looks like we're going to go 3 wide, and, well, Hartney, it didn't take long.
I was wrong.
It didn't take long, as we're going to have one pop up, and it's short-lived. Nobody went with them, and that's the end of that. As it looked like Morrison trying to get up there and maybe try to push the envelope a little bit, see who would go with them. Schroeder now moving to the high side. You see him in that JETS car. Ooh, Schroeder braking a little bit. He got a little loose there. If you're Robbie Morrison, you see Schroeder going with you, you may try to push his third line and see if he tags along. Schroeder not a playoff driver. Morrison is, so hey, if playoff driver wants to push the envelope, someone's going with them. These guys do have 2 fast repairs, by the way. I'll tell you what, we got all these new little buttons on here and stuff. Mark Mann led the most laps so far. He's at 3. He's got himself Hunter Reynolds doing a little pushing behind him. And Servant behind him. Servant now going to move into that middle row. Going to go to the high side, try to become the first car on the high side, see if he can get around Mark Mann. Mann, Reynolds, Servant, Dixon, Osborne, Dickerson, Wilkinson, all playoff drivers. So that front pack, they are competing to move on. Well, it's not a super speedway week. It's a super speedway series. So every week here in the NSRA is super speed week.
Well, I think he's referring to every series this week is all super speedway racing.
Yeah, it absolutely is, because we head to Talladega with the next gens on Wednesday. So, man, that's going to be a show. Nothing says
it's going to be a good week.
Nothing says playoffs like let's throw in some Dega. I don't know. We saw that schedule release a couple weeks ago for those guys, and Well, they're going to get plenty of opportunities around super speedways. As you can see, all cars pretty much staying together. I don't know what's going on with Les, but he has not made his appearance, and he is 8 laps down. Remember, Les.
He did say in chat that he missed the start, so I'm not sure what happened. But he's still not on the track.
He's not. He's still sitting in pit road, and he is a playoff driver. Let's see if we can get over here to old Les, see what's going on. Not a whole lot. Man, the pace car, you think he could maybe park a little bit straighter? As you've got to like the 5-5 out there representing SCSRA Broadcasting. That's Dean Wilkinson. Led a ton of laps last week. Very end of that race. Went 4 wide and chaos came along. It is an elimination race at Dega, so whew, this week's going to be chaos. There's just no way around it. I believe.
Oh, we're going 3 wide again.
I don't know. We're going to give it a little taste, and that's the end of that.
And that's it.
Morrison keeps trying to push the envelope, and nobody will go with them. Schroeder showed a little bit of interest and said, you know what? I'm just going to go to the bottom side, and I'll take some positions that way. As you see, Schroeder right now pulls in behind.
So is he going 3 wide to cool his car off? Because he keeps peeking up there, gets side by side with the guys, and then cuts back down.
I mean, that's a possibility, but I don't think he should be overheating too much. He's not really pushing too hard. You know, I truly think he's peeking to see who's going to go with them, and if somebody goes with them, I think Ron Morrison's going to try to take this thing 3 wide and get pushed up to the front. He's got to be careful peeking out, though, because what's going to happen is the door is going to get closed behind him, possibly by the 66 of Bubba Winningham. And you see the 74. Does he peek up again? He does not. That bottom line's got a few gaps in there. We'll see if the top line takes advantage of it. As Hunter Reynolds trying to get up in front of Mark Mann. Mann right now continuing to lead laps. He's at 8. That time around, Hunter Reynolds did get the lap led, and this time he is going to drop down in front of Mark Mann. Surveyor going to be able to get him clear. Ooh, Schroeder's going to have to be careful there. He started peeking up a little bit as Morrison came down. I think they saw each other at the last second. Gave each other a little bit of separation. Just a couple seconds ago I said the bottom line wasn't forming. Well, it's tightened up. With Hunter Reynolds getting to the front, the bottom has become a little bit more organized. 411 of Tom Dixon. He's going to try to do his best to keep the 3 of Paul Servant. Up there next to Reynolds, he's got Morrison with them. Morrison poking out there to look 3 wide for quite some time, and just by staying in the high line, it seems to have worked out for him. Now gas. Whoa, getting a little squirrely there. See the SCSRA car, Dean Wilkinson. He's came through that turn, and right behind him, the car started getting a little swirly. Squirrely? That's the word.
Well, too squirrely, and he's going to go swirly.
Well, if you get too squirrely, you end up over there on the blind squirrels with Ambrose on Monday night. So you got to be careful about that. Which, You know what? I'm just going to say I'm trying to do a little bit of team building here. So I watched that the SCSRA today opened up their registration for the Next Gen series.
We did.
And I may have thrown it out to a couple guys and said, hey, which one of you want to come on and be part of Starch Racing?
Oh my gosh.
Starch Racing is looking to dethrone Neon Racing. So if you want to come out there and race with the best and be part of Starch Racing, you reach out to me. I'm going to start recruiting for Starch Racing.
You heard it here first, folks. We got Starch Racing coming in.
I'm trying.
You leave those ASR and NSRA guys alone, though. You keep them over in their own leagues.
I don't know if they want to do some next gens and a really fun season next year.
It's going to be a good season. We're doing some testing and stuff for track lengths and fuel runs, and a lot of talks about it. It's Charlotte shaping up to be a great race, or from what we're seeing in stage racing. We've got a good push up here for the front right now. Oh, we had a peak up high from Robert Morrison. Peak back down. He's back down into the middle line here.
Lone Servant right now was not able to get in front of Reynolds, so Reynolds still going to be out in front of this thing.
Well, we got Eddie saying Starch Racing has openings next season, huh? You might already got somebody switching over?
Hey, Starch Racing has, SCSRA allows what, 5 members?
5 members per team, that is correct.
It has 5 openings. If that tells you how my recruiting is going for the potato.
What about Duvendak?
I mean, we'll see. We'll see if he races or if he's going to stay in the booth with me full time. I like him racing.
That makes sense.
But if he's part of Starch Racing, I can't have him in the booth. You can't have one guy and the other 4 is somewhere else.
That's also very true.
No, that would just confuse me. 3 comes down in front of Schroeder. Feels the tap, and Morrison lets him back up. 18 laps in, almost our first caution.
There it is! Coming up, here it is!
And there it goes. And, well, the 3 did not survive that time. Les getting a meatball. Adam Kilday gets a meatball. Morrison gets a meatball. Overstreet gets a meatball. And we are going to have to find Servant here because, well, somebody tossed his cookies.
Yeah, Robert Morrison, number 74, did claim that incident as his. It did start with a bad push from him, so you take a look at that one.
And we're going to switch our camera views. We're going to, you know what? Right there, I don't know if that's a good one. Let's see if we can maybe get behind it in a far chase. We'll go with the old faithful far chase when it comes to the accidents. Remember, the 3 tried to come down, wasn't clear in front of Schroeder, had to pop back up. And Morrison not going to hit the 3 square, and it's going to send him flying down below. Collects the 85, collects Schroeder, Les Kilday, Overstreet. Well, they are all going for rides here. I believe Dean's car just, Dean Viney's car, he lost his front end and it miraculously just came back on.
Well, that's not a net code if I've never seen one.
Yeah, the whole front end disappeared there, and hey, we're here. We'll go into screenshot view. If you want to see my favorite driver of the night, there he is. You know what? You didn't even remind me.
Switch your ticker?
No, the ticker's good. I did the ticker, but poor Hartney over here. I left you hanging again. Yeah.
Oh, was I muted the whole time?
No, you're not muted. I didn't share my screen with you.
That's fine.
You know, I'm always just like, there's so much going on. I went into panic mode and everything fell apart early, and woof, we got it back up just in time. We didn't get the intro video. We didn't start engines, but man, did we have a great intro sound. So it kind of worked out for us. Why am I in the booth when we're under caution?
It has been a day.
No, well, you know what? Happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there, as we know the night is coming to an end on Mother's Day. Hopefully all the gentlemen took care of their wives, and I don't even know where mine went. I think she went out to Waffle House with my daughter. So
That's the best way. Just let them do what they want.
Hey.
It's their day.
it's their day. You know what? I got her some flowers. I got her everything she needed, so I did my part, but pretty sure she definitely went for Waffle House.
Could be better, could be worse, I guess.
I 100% agree with you. Man, look at Starch, by the way, switching his shirt up to the NSRA shirt. This man's getting himself a wardrobe this year.
We got some off-season work to do, huh?
Yeah, he's doing all right. I tried to put sunglasses on him. They don't work. Maybe I'll have Devin come over and draw some of those Eddie Morris sunglasses on, like he has a picture of. Just put it in paint. He can just draw them on Tony Starch, and it'd be great. As we had a bunch of pitting. I don't believe anybody stayed out. Everybody did pit in. Fast repairs. Well, we had a couple use one. Doug Johnson used one. Overstreet used one. Kilday used one. So, a couple drivers had to take one early. And just like that, we'll head to our first commercial. We'll bring it back full screen as we are on the back stretch. These guys starting to get all formed back up. Little side-by-side racing. Pace car will go away this time. Appreciate everybody tuning in. If you haven't, take a moment, like, subscribe to the page. Supposedly I have a certain alert. I don't know if it ever works. Well, actually, looks like it's only on the SCSRA, so I'm going to have to transfer that over. Hunter Reynolds, Mark Mann, going to be your leaders. Reynolds on the bottom, if you couldn't tell with that Reynolds wrap car. Mann going to be up high. Pace car diving off. And entering the Geico restart zone for the second time tonight. We are back to green flag racing. So pretty good run. I believe part of that was everybody was trying to get single file, which tells me pit stops were coming. So we gave everybody an opportunity to come in and get a little bit of gas now.
Yeah, it was about time everyone needed to do it. So that caution kind of came out perfect timing for them. Sad that 6 people had to use their fast repairs, but they got another one, right?
They got 2. You can't go wrong with that. As old Milk Doug Dickerson's out here, he's trying to push Mr. Hunter Reynolds, keep him out there in front of Mark Mann. Remember, Mann was leading on the bottom at one point tonight. And old Hunter Reynolds able to get back in front. Hunter Reynolds now is the most laps led. He's at 11. Mann right behind him at 8. So 19 laps divided up between 2 drivers. As you can see how tight the field remains. Oh, we got an 04 shout out. As we're out here rooting for Mr. Mark Mann.
Perfect opportunities. He's up there pushed up for the front. So Mara Clark, hopefully that encouragement's getting him up there.
Well, just like that, Mark Mann is looking for those laps led. He would love to get back in front of Hunter Reynolds. Get the most for tonight here at Daytona. Oh, we got one kind of out there doing a little fallback. And great picture of how tight the racing's going to be here. You can see the top line trying to keep it straight. They're getting breaking a little bit, poking out, coming in 2 different directions. They're everybody able to keep it straight and stay off the doors. These guys are not pinching too hard in these Xfinity cars. Oftentimes you see those Xfinity cars pinching down, trying to take the air away. But right now, that high side giving plenty of room to the bottom. As they come around the back stretch. We get 2 more jumping into the high line. Now that they got full tanks of gas, it kind of opens things up for them. They don't have to ride single file. And with everybody getting down, that was lap 20-ish when they went into pit. So I'm guessing they can only go about 20 to 25 laps. Which would leave right around 4 pit stops, maybe 3. And Larry almost comes up to make contact. Saw him drifting a little bit there in the 25. Mark Mann was able to get back down in front of Reynolds. Reynolds goes to the top and they just kind of switch positions. Now Dixon going to be responsible for pushing Reynolds. Milk Doug Dickerson still responsible for pushing Mark Mann. The laps led sits at 9 and 14 with Hunter Reynolds leading the way on that. Remember the race started, Servant was out in front. He led 4 and well, then his cookie got crumbled and back he went.
His cookie got crumbled.
Well, he painted it, not me.
It did happen.
It did. Ooh, man gonna come up. Uh-oh, man getting in a little bit of trouble here. He made a decision to come up high. That opened the door for Milk Dud. Milk Dud took it. And man hesitated a little bit, but able to get in front of Reynolds. Sometimes that becomes a little bit of a problem if you miss that cutoff where you have that opportunity to jump in front of the driver in front. Oftentimes you'll end up in a middle row all by yourself and you go from the front to the back in a hurry. Hopefully not pinballing your way back there. I'll tell you what, the 55's car of Dean Wilkinson, that's a pretty car. Shout out
Man,
to
every
Morris
week
Customs.
we look at it. Yeah, every week we look at it, it's getting cleaner and cleaner.
Let's see if we can actually give a little screenshot here of the 55. You know, the only thing I think it's missing here, and you know what it's going to be, is a little Tony Starch action. It's clean. This man now going to drop back down to the bottom. That's going to leave Hunter Reynolds still up high. "25 laps led between these guys. Reynolds at 15, Mann at 10. Already 31 laps into this one. These playoffs not going to disappoint, as the top 9 drivers, minus Andrew Schroeder, all playoff drivers. I believe Les definitely had some issues. He still hasn't turned a lap.
We're wrecking on the backstretch. Big wreck on the backstretch.
We got a big one on the backstretch, and oh man, shouldn't have looked at his car, because the 5.5 is, Eddie Morris not going to be very happy. You messed up his paint job. Whoa. And I believe this is going to be a little Jets action here. Looks like Schroeder may be coming down. Let's take a look. Let's see if we can find Mr. Andrew Schroeder. This is going to be in the 48. Ooh, the 99 actually comes up and clips Schroeder. Sends Schroeder round and round, and well, you are correct. This is a big one, as we are going to have cars round and round. Doug Johnson, Tom Dix, and Dean Viney all get meatball flags. Hunter Reynolds was the leader when the caution came out. Mark Mann stays second. Jimmy Reynolds now up to 4th, changing out of the Reynolds car. Overstreet in 5th. Len McNeese, Adam Kilday, Morrison, Dana Osborne, Tom Dixon round out your top 10. At the caution, we'll see how they race off pit road. Is everybody going to come in and smartly take some gas? Oh, we got a couple taking tires, and I believe those might have been ones involved in that wreck.
Well, it also looks like Dean Viney and Andrew Schroeder both had to use their second fast repairs, so we're not even halfway through this race yet, and people are having to use their second fast repairs, so they're going to have to be careful the rest of the race. And if we do recall, last time I said this, the person won the race.
They did. That was the 99 who came back and won it. Viney is a playoff driver. Andrew Schroeder is not, so we'll keep that into context there. And we'll head to our second commercial at lap 33. as they line back up 2 by 2. Enter in the backstretch. We are approaching the halfway point. Here in about 5 more laps, we will change it from a count up to a count down. These guys making quick work of Daytona tonight. Only 2 cautions. And it looks like we're going to have another playoff driver getting some laps led as Larry Dickerson's up here. Able to win the battle. Beat Mark Mann off pit road. They're going to enter 3 and 4, so we'll bring it back to big screen. Larry Milk Dud Dickerson's name's so long, his name on the ticker is P.
Nice.
So if you want to know who P is, well, that would
It's
be
Mr. Milk Dud.
It's Mr. Milk Dud up there as P. And our current leader. I was like, who is P? As entering the Geico restart zone. And we are back to green flag racing. That bottom line, they're staying tight. The 5-5 is going to come down. I'll tell you what, Dean Wilkinson, I feel like you should have at least put a cat symbol on there so we could have another cat 5-5 with the SCSRA car. Hunter Reynolds going to be the first car on that outside. Well, I say that as he's no longer. Mark Mann now battling Mr. Milk Dud. The high side right now, it's got 5 cars trying their best to get a big run. The bottom line still trying to get organized. We've got Reynolds up high. We've got Morrison up high. Schroeder up high. Mark Mann still trying to close the gaps on laps led. Well, as Morrison gets a little squirrely. Came towards the 411 of Tom Dixon. And Mann now going to move into the high side. And is he going to get stuck in that 3 wide? He is. It's going to force him to go 3 wide. His man got stuck.
Oh, we got 74 popped up there with him.
We said Morrison wanted to go to that high side. Well, there he is. He's got Milk Dud with him. We said that was a problem. If you open up that door, sometimes you get stranded as a single car. Milk Dud very lucky. Morrison goes with him, but Morrison now tucks in. Milk Dud tucks in. Mann now drops back to the bottom. Reynolds going to be the first car on the high side. Schroeder trying to push Reynolds, and the 5-5 of Dean Wilkinson going to be doing the pushing on the bottom line.
Yep, Mark Mann just dropped down to the bottom line here just a minute ago.
And I'll tell you what, you've seen a lot of lane changes coming from these leaders. Playing a game of cat and mouse, and these two have been battling for laps led the entire race. As they enter the backstretch, it stands Mark Mann 12, Hunter Reynolds 17. Reynolds now just inching in front of Mark Mann.
Does he drop down or does he stay in the middle? Well, looks like he's going to hold it on the top side back here with Andrew Schroeder pushing him.
Oh, we're getting one going squirrely on that bottom line. These guys able to save it for now. As they're going to come across the line. And I believe that's another one for 18 to 12. So as this time around, we will change our counter. as the halfway point is quickly approaching. Dean
Looks like
Wilkins.
everybody's kind of calming down now that we're only halfway through this race. We still got 40 laps to go. So these guys just need to calm down. A lot of them have already used their fast repairs. I know that there's 2 in the league, but still you want to save that for the green white checkers are going to come to.
Well, just like that, man, well, he drops. He goes back up to the high side, so.
Looks like he just wanted to check up the Reynolds car. He went up top and looks like we got the 48 pushing him now.
And now Reynolds going to come down in front of Man, and that's going to leave Schroeder on the high side. And these guys checking each other, trying to see who's going to win the battle. They're trying to lead everything here. Trying to take the runs away from each other. Schroeder going to have to be careful, as you mentioned, he is one of those cars who's used both fast repairs.
We got the number 8 of Dana Osborne getting a little a little squirrely, as you say, coming into 1 there.
A little wiggly, a little squirrely, you know, when they're just doing a little, we can't keep it straight motion. Well, this time Reynolds seems to have settled down there in front of Man and left Schroeder up there. Dana almost comes down as Dean's coming up, and those two just about rub doors. I don't know. Dean rubs too much paint on that blue. It'd be interesting to see what does SCSRA green look like with a background of blue.
Well, number 8 of Dana has got to get the bumper of the 48 a little bit sooner to get that top line working a little bit better. As I say that, they are connected. But Man and Hunter Schroeder, Hunter are just connected, and they're working really well together on that bottom line.
Well, Mark Mann and him, a couple laps ago, we watched them battle, and they seem to have settled down as they are on a 9-lap stint now. So here in about another 11 laps, you're going to see these guys start trying to get to that bottom line, and they would love to get themselves at least one green flag stop tonight.
Do they?
Well, I would think so, as it looks like Doug Johnson also never came out of the pits, so that might be it for the 388. He's not a playoff driver. Les Levy, the only playoff driver who I'm not quite sure what happened with him, but he's 42 laps down and not making an appearance. And you know, I don't see him in Discord, so. Oh, Schroeder gonna have to be careful. You saw him try to come down, realized it wasn't clear. Had he moved in that middle line, Osborne, I think, would have closed the door on him. And one of those two drivers would have filed all the way back. Got a little bit more peeking into the third line, all the way in the back. Reynolds now, is he going to come up in front of Schroeder? Are we going to see Reynolds and Mann battle it out? Nope, he opts to come back down in front of Mann. That's going to leave Schroeder still on the high side. Schroeder, of this battle, he's only led 1 lap as Reynolds controlling that bottom line. And Mann doing a great job with Dean. Pushing him out there just in time to stay in front of Andrew Schroeder. Popping up, looking in the high side. It looks to be. Because maybe he's just trying to get a clear window. But he is going to have to close that gap up a little bit and try to use some of these big runs. Give that high side a little bit more momentum. That bottom line stays pretty organized.
Dana's got to be careful pushing Andrew Schroeder here. In the corners, they were getting a little bit, wiggly out there, and can't do that coming off the corner and push on the corner of the car.
Well, and just like
Andrew
that,
Schroeder just dropped to the bottom of the line. Yeah,
he may have felt that and said, "I'm going to drop down in front of Reynolds and trust that bottom line," especially with Schroeder already using both fast repairs.
Well, Dana did say over the race comms to Andrew, just go ahead and take the bottom line. So, I don't know if they're teammates or not. Maybe there's some stuff going on behind the scenes we don't know about.
Osborne up top. Schroeder is still on the bottom. I think if you're Reynolds and Mann, you saw that battle becoming, well, a little hectic as they kept going bottom to high, and they figured, well, we're not halfway. We better settle in here. We'll continue this here, probably with about 10 laps to go. I would expect to see that battle get intense again, as they will then be pushing for the win.
I think the thought process going through everyone's mind right now is getting ready for these pit stops, which is, so we'll see what happens here. But I think that's what everyone's getting ready for.
Well, and I'm thinking they're on a 15-lap stint, so about another 5 to 8. And you'll be able to tell, as you can already see, that high line only has 6 cars in it now. Everybody else, well, they went to the bottom. They know those pit stops are coming. Morrison going to be one of those cars who stays up high. He's going to try to take advantage of everybody going down. As it looks like well, is he coming in or? I don't think so. I think Reynolds just got filed back. Did he go back to try to maybe get with some teammates? I'm not sure. Well, Hunter Reynolds has now fallen all the way back to 14th. And I'm guessing that's a pick strategy to maybe link up with some teammates.
It would have to be, because he pulled off the track on his own. He wasn't, no one touched him or anything like that. So it has to be get back there with his teammates.
Well, another thing you got to look at, do you want to pit with the entire field, or do you want to keep the field in front of you so when the wrecks happen, you can see them? If we stay green here and go through a green flag pit stop, that is one of the biggest concerns, is everybody entering, having different braking points. You see a lot of contact under the pit stops, as we've got another one filing back, and he may have been pushed out. As that's Schroeder, and Schroeder going sideways. He's out of fast repairs. And I don't think we're going to caution here. Schroeder back up on the track.
Good save, good save.
Incredible by Andrew Schroeder. He had to be careful there. He got awfully close to that inside wall. I'm curious to see if these guys try to stretch this run a little bit. If they can stretch it maybe another 5 laps. 5 or 6 laps, really. They should have the green flag for the green light for gas. And this may make it just a 1 stop instead of a 2.
Now Hunter back here right now, sitting in 17th place. He came off the field to get out of there, is what he said in chat. But when Andrew Schroeder got tapped and went to the inside, he did come off to check up for that wreck, and now he's completely off pace. So let's see if we can catch this main pack to get back to these pit stops that are coming up.
And Hunter Reynolds, that's going to be Hunter Reynolds, Sean Stevens, Alex Giffen, and Andrew Schroeder. Reynolds and Giffen are the playoff drivers. And I think Reynolds is going to catch the back right now of Overstreet. And here they come, surging back into the pack. So Giffen and Reynolds are going to catch back up. Milk Dud is going to be your leader. Dana Osborne, Mark Mann, Dean Wilkinson, Tom Dixon, your top 5. All playoff drivers. Dean Viney is 6, Dusty Burkhart 7, Morrison 8, Jimmy Reynolds 9, and Rick Sybrands is 10. Sybrands the only non-playoff driver in the top 10 right now. And here we go.
We got a bunch of people that just called in for pit.
And here they come. Whoa, one's locking it up. But it looks like misses that inside wall.
That was a nice drift.
It was a beautiful drift. Able to avoid the inside wall. That's going to be Osborne, Dickerson, Wilkinson, Markman, Dixon, Morrison, Burkhart, Kilday, Viney, Servant, English, Sybrands, Bubba, and Schroeder. So here they come as Jimmy Reynolds is your current leader. He's going to be linked up with Hunter Reynolds. And Jimmy and Hunter coming in this time. They're going to bring in, looks to be everybody else. Reynolds and Reynolds, Giffen, McNeese, Sean Stevens, and David Overstreet.
Ooh, bad news coming out of the Reynolds camp. Hunter sped going on the pit road. 10 over at 70 miles an hour. Wasn't able to get it slowed down enough in that first sector.
He was flying.
He's going to get that 40-second hold now.
As you can see, Jimmy trying to race off pit road. He is not going to be able to hold off these leaders. And we're going to have ourselves a merge coming. Jimmy is the current leader, trying to hold off. And here they come to his outside, led by Dana Osborne to the lead. That's going to be Osborne, Mann, Dean Wilkinson, and Milk Dud. Those 4 cars able to get around Reynolds.
Looks like Alex Giffen also got a black flag for speeding on exit of pits. Went a little too early to try to keep up with that leader there.
Elizabeth Joy out here rooting for the 66 of Bubba Winningham. In the field right now, well, it's a little separated. You've got 7 cars riding together. All playoff drivers. Dusty Burkhart sitting here in 8th. They're going to be able to close and keep up. Servant, Robert Morrison, and Jimmy Reynolds. So it is one big, long, single file line right now. As they have 25 laps to go. Everybody did come in for the green flag pit stop. 2 penalties given out. Looks like Giffen coming in now to serve his. And the pack now coming up on Hunter Reynolds. Hunter was the other victim of speeding. I'm just going to move out of the way for the leaders. Now this long single file, they're going to have to go 27 laps, 26 laps until the end of this thing. So gas definitely going to be tight. Will some of these drivers have to come in and splash? I mean, if you get a caution, they'll be good. But right now, this field in a long single file. It looks like a top line just starting to form.
Got someone in the chat rooting for Bubba Winningham.
I believe Len McNeese just hit the fastest lap at a 45.527.
Man, that's flying.
It's a hard one to break when you're at a super speedway. And a lot of times we do see it towards the end of the race. If these guys stay single file, I wouldn't be surprised if we see it broken again. It looks like Milk Dud may have popped up to that high side. Does Man go with him to the high side? You see the 04 kind of peeking around.
I'm watching that outside line here, the number 74. And again, we need to get close to that bumper to make this top line work right now. We've only got 3 cars in that line. So it's not going to work if they're not going to get, bumper to bumper. So we'll see what they do. Hopefully they get it cleaned up. We're coming up to some lap traffic here as well. So that's going to pull into account here if that car doesn't pull off.
And you can see the 74 trying to breathe it on the turn. Right now, the 74 is going to want to start picking it back up. And you see that little swerve coming off the 74, just not able to get to the bumper, not as fast as Man getting to the bumper of Osborne on the bottom line. Where does the lap traffic go? Does it try to leave the track? I believe it's going high. And we are going to have lap traffic getting passed on the high side. It's going to put them 3 wide momentarily. And it looks like everybody's safe and clear.
Well, hopefully Alex can catch that top line and be able to help them a little bit and kind of get as close as he can to the front of that field.
Oh, and you see it right there as Morrison and Milk Dud come down, almost take the air out. It's almost, I said it earlier, you sometimes get that pinching. And here it comes, as we'll put it in slow-mo for you. You can see Morrison extremely low. And who makes the initial contact? As Dana's car looks a little messed up.
I believe that's Andrew Schroeder that makes the contact again.
Nope, you got you have Milk Dud up here and Morrison. And it looks like Morrison hits the back bumper. And, well, everybody else gets cleaned up. Milk Dud hits the door, so it's kind of like a double tap as the 8 driving a little funny.
Well, it does show that Dana Osborne does have a meatball flag currently, but they do still have a fast repair left, so they should be able to get this fixed up and get back out there.
Well, and you can see Dana's car driving a little sideways right now, so that car definitely broken.
Yeah, that front right tire is definitely wobbling a little more than it should be.
that might give us a chance to get to our third commercial. We'll be right back with 18 to go. And we're back with 17 laps to go. Robert Morrison, your current leader. Len McNeese is 2. English and Milk Dud, well, they're going to be responsible for the pushing on the second row. And Overstreet and Osborne going to be in row 3. 17 laps to go, Hartney. Pace car going away this time. Do you think we're done cautioning?
No.
Absolutely not.
17 to go with some green-white checkers. I see 3 more tonight.
I could see some. We have 2 green-white checkers. We got a lot of fast repairs. And the pace car going away. Hey. If the dog eats those boys, I don't care. I'm not responsible. Hartney, you heard me warn it. I'm in here working.
I heard it.
You heard it. We're going to go into the restart now, and Morrison, well, he's going to get back out in front. He's going to have Len McNeese to his outside. So a different look than we've seen this entire race as Morrison gets 2 laps led. Len McNeese, also a playoff driver, looking to get some laps led. Appreciate everybody tuning in. If you haven't already, take a moment, like and subscribe. Definitely helps us. And tune in as well. We broadcast right now 4 nights a week, so we're becoming busier and busier. And well, if you want to learn how to broadcast, shoot us a holler. We're looking for some more broadcasters so we can keep expanding the channel. As Robert Morrison still holding on to that bottom line. 15 laps to go. Oh, McNeese going to make contact with Dana. And they're going to be able to save this thing. as we've now got one going into the wall high. And it looks like Milk Dud went up high initially, came back down. And we are going to lose Morrison. He's going off track, and the chaos is gonna continue. Well, hopefully nobody bet the under, because Hartney gave you the line. He told you what was gonna happen. And here we are. It's Super Speedway Racing. Can we, it starts up here. And this one, this is going to be interesting what happens to Morrison. From my view, it looks like Dana's got his bumper square into Morrison, but he's pushing him through the turn. Morrison comes down, hits the yellow line, and to the inside, Morrison goes. But then the 44 gets doored by Osborne, comes up into McNeese, and, well, there goes the field.
It was a cluster. It was a cluster is what we got to say.
It was everybody. I mean,
yeah.
I could sit here and tell you the damage, but the bigger damage is Sean Stevens and Anthony English both got meatballs, so I expect fast repairs out of those guys.
The good news was coming into this, Sean has 2 left. Anthony English had 1 left still, so he's got an opportunity to get back out on the track, but we've got 14 laps to go. I'm guessing 2 more cautions for the rest of the night, but I could be wrong. This could go a lot more. He's just got to be clean for the rest of the race, so we'll see what he does.
And, well, you can see the 8 also missing the entire front end. Is the 8 HSU's? That second fast repair.
Bold move. I don't know if I would have used it right now.
Well, that's Osborne using it, and, well, I don't know. Did Osborne use a fast repair, or did it just fix it? I might have to change the camera on this, because...
That was a fast repair.
8 is still banged up. 8 is not using the fast repair.
Yeah.
The 8 is out of fast repairs already, 2 out of 2, so... Dana going to be in here, and, well, that pit crew is going to be in trying to get this car banging away.
Well, and that's kind of what I would have done in this situation is I don't think I would have used my second one yet. I think I would have taken as much damage repair as I can while under caution, knowing there's going to be more. It's a super speedway. There's always going to be more. And get as much fixed and save it so closer to the end of the race. Every caution, just go in and get 1.5 to 2 minutes repaired, depending on how much is there. Well, that's what I would have done, but yeah, who am I to say?
Well, you can see Osborne is getting a lot of these dents out, but man, there is a lot of damage to that right side. Seems to get the front end back on, and Dana exiting the pits. So we've got a couple here. Tom Dixon out of fast repairs. Adam Kilday out of fast repairs. Dana Osborne out of fast repairs. Anthony English out of fast repairs. Dean Wilkinson, Andrew Schroeder out of fast repairs, and Dean Viney. So we've got a couple that are, well, not in a good place, and they're going to have to really have some wreck avoidance coming up. I call that like your inner Duvendak, because that guy seems to miss all wrecks.
Well, what's really crazy is that usually you see these kind of the pushing happen from cars checking up and people being too close, making contact in the middle of the field, and it kind of goes from there. The last 2 cautions have been at the front of the field, taking out a huge portion of the field. So even if you're Dean Viney right now, who has no fast repairs left, you're not safe being up here.
No.
These guys are pushing really hard and trying to be really aggressive right now. And I understand 12 laps to go, 11 at the green flag. You don't have a lot of time left, but you still have a lot of time left.
Hey, you at least got 11 minutes, because that's about what it takes, a minute per lap. So And a lot is going to happen in the next 11 laps. So, you're right, though. A lot of these wrecks are happening from the front and filing all the way to the back, and nobody's been safe. As Reynolds out in front. That's going to be Jimmy Reynolds. Viney's going to be on the bottom. Man going to stay up top. Bubba Winningham on the bottom. Then you've got Hunter Reynolds. Who, remember, Hunter Reynolds did go a lap down. Got it back with the lucky dog. And right away, back up here in 5th. Hunter still has led the most laps, and, well, I'm pretty sure is going to take that tonight. I don't know if Mark Mann has enough to get it back. Mark's sitting at 13 with 12 to go. He would have to lead almost every lap to take that away.
Hunter also has both of his fast repairs left, so Jimmy Reynolds still has both. Bubba Willingham still has both. So it's going to be interesting for him. And here we go, going green.
These guys have all the opportunity in the world right now to race as hard as they want, knowing caution comes out. It may take out some of those competitors. And we're going to have to keep an eye on the 8. Remember, the 8 had no fast repair. Seems to be staying with the pack, falling back a little bit. You can see Osborne now. Will Osborne's car have enough? Sometimes that car, you think it has enough until you get up to speed and you need someone to push you to get you back up. And Osborne all the way into the back. Going to be the last car on the lead lap.
Seeing a lot of aggression here on the outside line in the middle of the field. These guys are pushing where they shouldn't be pushing. They just need to kind of ride it out for now.
We know that wave's coming. You can see Reynolds right now looking to get to the lead. Well, Reynolds was hunting down and then kind of drifted way up high, almost into a third row. And these rows definitely not organized. As right now, it is all Dean Viney out in front. Bubba Winningham, the 66, trying to push Dean around the track. Dean's got to trust Bubba here. Whoa, and Bubba going below yellow line just as I'm talking about him. And the 17 of Reynolds dropping down to the bottom line. That's going to leave Mark Mann up high. Does Mann get clear? Does he move down? He's going to come down. And he's going to bring Hunter Reynolds with him. Remember, these two cars battled for what seemed like the first 40 laps of this race. Now working together as they both clear to get to the bottom. And I think you have to, at this point in the race, that a third is better than an 18th finish.
Well, by the way they started that last caution, I don't think they did know that.
I don't think so. It's been pretty aggressive up here. As the 5-5 is going to get filed all the way back. That was Dean Wilkinson. Expect a big one to happen. See Dean falling way back. He sees the aggression up front. I think he expects a wreck here in the next 8 laps.
I do too. I'm expecting at least 2 more.
Come
on, guys.
The over-under. What do we got? Over or under? 2 wrecks. You know, if you have a bunch of these cars, though, start filing back to play safe, it makes it harder to wreck with less cars up there. As we're going 3, is that 4 wide? They are jumbled right now on this backstretch. in some parts looking 4 wide, now an organized 3 wide, to include Andrew Schroeder, the third car. You've got cars up here with no fast repairs, just risking it all.
Well, I think these guys could be reminded that it's the playoffs. It's not an elimination race. We still have a race to go after this. So in order to get the good points, you have to finish the race under your own power first. So with 6 laps to go here, they just need to chill for like 3 more laps.
3 more and let it all go.
Yep.
I know right now, if you're Robert Morrison or Hunter Reynolds, you'd love to see a white flag, and that's going to come in about 5 laps. But the problem is, I don't think you want to be up front. Is Morrison going to come down again and cut the air out of Reynolds? And again, makes contact with that lower line. And you can see, I called it earlier today when I said, you got to be careful in these Xfinities. They're known cars for taking the air away from each other and doing a little side draft. And I'm pretty sure that is what just happened here with Mr. Morrison. As he came down and, well, we lost us a big one here. Again, where'd it happen? The front. And this is, you watch Morrison, the 74 comes down as the 26. I don't know if the 26 really comes up. It looks like he's trying to go back down. And then the 17 of Reynolds, I believe, is going to get to the back. And the chaos happens, but we did have a fast repair here. Hartney, what's your thoughts?
Well, Robert Morrison's got 1 more fast repair left to use. With 5 to go, we're going to probably go green flag at 2 to go. You've got to use it, for sure. I think that is going to be an unofficial green-white. So it's going to be an official green-white checkered, but not the one that counts. It's going to be close. I think that we're going to have a wreck on the second lap. Maybe the first lap coming out of 3 and 4.
I think so.
These guys, they need to, coming into these restarts, they need to just, the problem is now we're so few laps left, but we've got to get through 1 and 2, through that backstretch 3 and 4, get that white flag. If you can time it right, you want to be 3rd, 4th car in line. You don't want to be up at the front. You're just a sit and duck at that point.
Well, I believe the Jimmy and Hunter, that father-son duo there, got into a little bit of entanglement after the contact from Morrison, and now Jimmy Reynolds up to the front, while Hunter Reynolds back at 14th.
He didn't have a meatball flag for Hunter, but he did use one of his fast repairs. He had a lot of damage coming off of that, so look for him to come back up to the front. He's not going to hang back there very long.
Well, there's not going to be too many cars back there that, some of those guys, they've been out of fast repairs for a while, so they're living with that damage permanently.
Mm-hmm.
Bubba in that 66, he's still the only car out here, I believe, who has both fast repairs.
Oh, no, Jimmy Reynolds still has both.
And Jimmy Reynolds, our leader.
Again, not the place you want to be, though, at this point.
I don't think I'd want to be in the front.
No.
And that's going to put Jimmy Reynolds and Mark Mann on row 1. Dean Viney and Andrew Schroeder, row 2. Cy Brands and Len McNeese are going to be row 3. Servant, Anthony English, and then Milk Dud and Bubba will round out our top 10.
We got lights out on the pace car with 3 to go, so we're going to get the green flag with 2 to go. It's going to be busy.
You might as well just rack them as a green flag or green-white checker, because here it
Yep.
comes. It's unofficially one. They'll still have 2 remaining if need be.
What do you think, Guy? We're going to make it the first lap?
Absolutely not. I think we've been watching enough super speedway racing this season that we can expect a green-white checkered coming, and it's going to be a big one. The next one could claim a couple cars. Morrison actually used his second fast repair, so he's out.
And this is where it's going to get real sketchy for Dean and Andrew Schroeder. Neither one of them have a fast repair left. Everyone around them still has one. So it's going to be push for the love of God, but don't cause a wreck at the same time.
Well, let's go, Bubba. You got 2 of them, baby. Let's push. 3 wide.
Well, Bubba's back there with Hunter, so don't expect that to it's a possibility.
That's the pace car in 3 and 4. I'll tell you what, I've seen it a couple times. These guys give the pace car plenty of room out there in front. You see a lot of leagues, they line up. They are right on that pace car. Well, that pace car has probably got about 6 lengths on them. As we're going to go up here with Mr. Jimmy Reynolds and Mark Mann on this restart. Elizabeth Joy with the Let's Go Bubba. Well, Bubba's got the fast repairs. We're going green. An unofficial green-white checkered. Here we go.
Do we make it this lap?
Well, if we make it this lap, we're definitely wrecking on the second one. But the white will be out then. Here comes the danger zone. You always see that wreck happen right in 3 and 4 as these guys coming off high speed. And man,
let's see if we make it to the line.
They're coming into turn 3 and 4 now. Schroeder getting to the bumper of the 04. And you can see them starting to file out. And here, oh, they're going to save it. And there goes the turn. But will Bubba bring out a caution in time? He's off the track.
No, we got the white flag.
We are going white flag. Bubba is off track. Did not bring out a caution.
It in 2.
And here comes the big one. And there goes our beautiful SCSRA car in the 5.5. Dean Wilkinson, he's going round and round, but right now it is Mark Mann and Jimmy Reynolds up here in the front. Schroeder pushing Mann. Looks like Cybrands, he's got a little 3 wide going. He's bringing the 3 with him. But Paul Servan, we're going 3 wide in through 4. They're coming through the restart zone. Oh, this is going to be close. And was it? I think it was the 04. Mark Mann takes it. Oh, my goodness. Let's just pause.
That was nuts.
Let's just pause this as we finish this thing 3 wide. Man, we got to have like a line, right? Like here's a finish line right here. Let's just go slow-mo. You can see how close they are. Each one having a pusher with them. Wow.
04 barely gets him.
I mean, I can't even pause it that soon. It is that close. Let's try to bring this into a 16th here. As that is close. So close. The 04 beats the 4 of Rick Cybrands. Oof. I mean, by inches. inches. It is just a game of inches. And the 0-4 of Mark Mann takes the win.
That was almost as close as Darlington.
That was tight.
That was really tight.
Well, Andrew Schroeder gets third. And like Schroeder, I don't see him in the Discord.
The only one I see is actually Mark Mann. Everyone else I don't see in the Discord.
I don't see any of them. We'll give up. I see Cy Brands. He's in race room 5 with Mark Mann.
Oh, there he is.
So now we just need us a little Andrew Schroeder, and we'll see if we get him here. We'll give him a couple seconds as that JETS car finishes third with no fast repairs remaining. He stayed up there.
If anybody had the under on that one, congratulations.
They didn't caution. They almost did, but Bubba able to get it off track.
Man, that was crazy.
Well, Bubba, not a playoff driver, ended up finishing 19th. So let's see if I can find our results page here while we're waiting to see if we can find a Schroeder.
I just messaged him, so let's see what happens.
And Mark Mann, our winner. Cybrand, Schroeder, Jimmy Reynolds, Servant, Dean Viney, Anthony English, Alex Giffen, Dusty Burkhart, Milk Dud. So 2 non-playoff drivers take podium finishes. Let's go look at the next page. Morrison finishes 11th. Hunter Reynolds, Tom Dixon, Kilday, Dana Osborne, Bubba Overstreet, Dean Wilkinson, Len McNeese. So Dean Wilkinson and Len McNeese, 2 playoff drivers, and they are going to be fighting for their life, especially Len McNeese, who didn't turn a light or lap tonight. But you know what I see? I see an Andrew
Mr.
Schroeder.
Schroeder.
I do see an Andrew Schroeder. So let's get him in here.
Hey.
Whoa, hold on.
Absolutely nobody.
Oh, sorry.
No,
sorry.
you're good. You're good. We're going to get your intro going. Hold on. We're going to kick you back out so we can listen to it.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
That's a clean one.
That's the clean one.
I forgot that was even on.
We're not made for children, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So.
Andrew, man, use those fast repairs early. You stayed up in the mix anyway. You took a big risk. Non-playoff driver, you left it all out there, man, and able to push Mr. Man to a win.
Yeah,
here.
I've ran with Mark Mann a lot. I'm worked pretty good with him. Worked pretty good. I was running up front for a while, and a couple guys ran me over a little bit. But all good. Finished third. I'll take it.
Hey, you got to take it where you can get it, and anytime you can get a podium finish at a super speedway, man, you got to be happy with the night. The car, well, it's seen better days, but yeah, you were able to get it done. You got it fixed up completely twice.
Yeah.
How was that last lap there with 3 wide, 2x2x2, and it was going to be a pushing battle?
It was really good. Probably some of the best racing I've done in a long time. Real nerve-wracking, but good. I'm glad I got to push Mark to win. He's pushed me before, so I like Mark. So,
well, that's
really good.
That's awesome, man. And again, congratulations on taking a third place here at Daytona for the Thank the Vets 200, I believe.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Yeah, the Thank the Vets 200. With Memorial Day being a couple weeks out.
Yes, sir.
Before we let you out of here, though, we're going to give you the opportunity to thank all your family, friends, and sponsors, man. So
I want to thank Overstreet for running the league. Does a great job. Bubba, all them guys do a great job. And Jordan Berry with Custom Diecast and Designs does my paint job. So thanks to him. Other than that, everything, that's it. Thanks, man. Thanks for doing the broadcast.
Yeah, man. You need to get with that painter, though. Maybe get you a big old Aaron Rodgers out there and just... run that. Hey, I'm just saying.
You know the guy
ASR and chase after Duvendale and hit him.
Every week they bust my balls about it. Every year I say we're going to the Super Bowl, and we never do. So, but we're going to the Super Bowl. That's all I can say.
That's it, man.
Love my team.
All right, buddy. Well, again,
All right, guys.
congratulations. We'll get you out of here.
All right, have a good day.
You too.
Lots of energy after that one.
Schroeder's ready to. He's ready to go out there and party. He's ready. And like that, let's get Cybrands in here. Is Rick, Guy, and Dave in the booth? You got a copy?
I do.
Man, so we had an over-under bet that we would caution before you guys actually got the white flag. It happened right as you were coming to the line, but Bubba able to get it off track. Tell me about that last lap as you guys went into a pretty much head-to-head battle with each having a pusher 3 wide, man. Exciting.
Yeah, thank goodness we got back to that white flag, man, because we needed to get a good run there. And once that wreck happened and I seen we got through it, I seen the 3 in my mirror. I knew I was going to be in pretty good shape. I think everybody had their pusher lined up. I was hoping I could, maybe catch them off guard or want to cool it a little bit there coming back, just enough where we could, snooker them, jump to that outside. But man, I can't really be that upset about that kind of a finish, man. That was that's pretty cool to come home that close and have a great run there at the end. And that was all thanks to Paul. He was working super hard there, and yeah, that's cool.
Well, man, it was definitely exciting to watch. You had yourself a pretty good night. Got you 5th or no laps led. Only had to use one of the 2 fast repairs though, and that was key. Is you had a bunch of drivers up there who they had already burned theirs, so you still had one in the pocket. Glad you didn't have to use it, man. You were able to bring home a podium finish. So big congratulations on tonight's 2nd place.
Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate all you fans at home watching. You guys taking it to the fans, NSRA, all the bosses behind the scenes for getting this thing going. It's really privileged to race here on Sunday nights. It's a lot of good racing as we've seen, good finishes. And yeah, can't wait for next week.
All right, Rick. Well, we will catch you next week, as I believe next week's going to be an elimination race.
Awesome. So, can't wait, guys. Thanks.
All right, brother. Well, we seem to have lost somebody.
I got him.
We lost him. Then you lost him in the waiting room.
hang on.
All right, we got Mark Mann in the booth after he went and disappeared.
No.
Well, Mark, let me tell you, you had yourself a heck of a race tonight. It was a Hunter Reynolds, Mark Mann battle for the ages going on up front. Reynolds led 23 laps. You led 15 laps. Jimmy Reynolds leads 10. But, man, those first 40 laps, I thought you and Hunter were trying to win the race. And, man, a lot of up and down, trying to see who could lead the lap. And great racing going on up front. But able to get the edge and take this thing home. So, congratulations.
Thank you. Hunter and I have been racing, man, since he was a kid. Now he's in his early 20s, but boy, I remember 5 or 6 years ago racing with that kid, and I've always raced very well with Hunter. I trust him on track, so that was a lot of back and forth, but it was a lot of co-opetition too. I was getting hot, and I would move to the outside lane so he could cool off, and then vice versa, and then he'd pass me, and then we did some dinking and dunking, and yeah, it was a lot of fun up there tonight. I usually race in the back and then try to wake up for the last 10 laps. But tonight I just felt like kind of staying with that front pack if I could. Wow. And I was just fortunate to do so.
Well, tonight it definitely paid off for you. Only having used that one fast repair, you still had one in the pocket. It got interesting at the end. We thought we might see a caution, but Bubba Winningham able to get his car off track, keep that thing away from the green-white checkers, and we get to see a great show of racing as you guys go 3 wide. And, man, you go back and watch that replay. You got them by,
a millimeter.
I don't even know if it's a millimeter. I mean,
iRace Control said it's 0.00 something.
I mean, you pretty much you got them with the Larson. I'm pretty sure somebody painted the line crooked, and they don't just take it, because I'll tell you what, man, it right off that bottom bumper just comes across, man. It was a heck of a finish. So congratulations. Hey, that's where you want to be when you're a playoff driver, taking the win, race 1.
And I saw Rick coming on that outside lane, and I wasn't going to force him into the wall. That's my teammate. and I wasn't going to force Jimmy low. So we all just kind of held our lines 1, 2, 3 and drag raced it. So that was good, a very good clean finish. I'm happy about that.
Man, it was definitely an exciting race. It's got a little aggressive there in the middle as we knew it was playoff time, and well, you see that more often than not. So, but you were able to get it done. In fact, your pusher finishes third, if that tells you how hard he was pushing you. So Schroeder took home a 3.
Yep.
But again, congratulations, especially with it being playoff season. And before we let you get out of here, you know how we're going to leave it off with the floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew, for the great push. And it was fun racing with Jimmy up there and Rick and Paul and everybody tonight. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. My mother, my friend Mara, her mother, and my sister, nieces. Congratulations to my niece, just had a new baby, so I'm a great uncle. And I'd like to dedicate this win to my best friend, Randy William Althuizer III, who we lost last month. And thanks to all the admins and everybody who does everything behind the scenes. And thank you guys for broadcasting and all the guys I raced with tonight. You know, I've been racing with the same group for probably going on 7 years now, which doesn't seem possible, but it is. So yeah, it was a fun night.
Well, it was definitely a fun night. It was fun to broadcast up here. You guys kept it full of action from start to finish. But, well, Mark, you're doing pretty good with that first win. So congratulations,
awesome.
And we'll catch you here next week.
Thanks, bro.
All right, and that's Mark Mann. He's, had himself a race. He stayed up front as long as he could tonight. You keep seeing it in the replay how close this finish was. I think these guys are going to go back and rewatch this race and say, whoa, it's going to come down to that photo finish. And, well, iRacing brought it official. Mark Mann by, I don't even think it's a nose.
Yeah, I went back to try to find the results to see what the actual finish was. And of course it doesn't show because I'm not in the race, but iRace Control said it was 0.00 something. So
it is 0.00. It's not close. Yeah, it's there's definitely no gap there, but
no, not at all.
Well, man, our Sunday is complete for broadcasting. That closes out our week. We head tomorrow night. ASR Tour goes to their round of 14, round of 14 over there at Atlanta, and I think they were talking about they're switching back to the cars. They're not doing the trucks now, so they're going to go right back to the cars. Seems to clean up the racing. And then Wednesday night, more super speedway as we're going to head to Dega for an elimination race with those next gens. And Thursday, as always, Mr. David Hartney, he'll be up in the booth and recapping. If you'd love to join him, go sit in the waiting room. He'll bring you up. He'd love to have a conversation. But I think that's going to be it for us, man. It was a fun night. A lot of action tonight, and they got it done pretty quickly and pretty clean. So they got to be happy with that.
Yeah, it was really good racing tonight. There was a couple of obvious, trying to pull people off of each other that caused cautions. But other than that, it was pretty clean racing tonight. But excited for us to go to Talladega on Wednesday. There's already, obviously conversations about what the strategy is going to be.
Survive.
Because it's not just survive though in this league, because it in the SCSRA it could be a great race or it could be absolutely abysmal. That's what this season has kind of turned out to be. But this will be an elimination race at Talladega is going to be very interesting. There's a lot of people in a have to win situation. And there's a lot of guys that are just, we need to finish the race well.
That's it.
So we know the top couple of guys are locked in, but the rest of them, it's up for grabs at this point. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. Team Neon has 4 of the 5 drivers in the playoffs. So we'll see if we can push that up and get all 4 of us into the next round. But Tony Starch Racing is going to have some serious competition next season. I can tell you that.
That's all I'm saying. I might be stealing your drivers, Eddie Morris. Starch Racing, baby.
I don't think so, but
I don't think so. He bleeds neon, but hey, I'll try. I'll even wear a shirt with Eddie Morris's face on it.
Right.
But
well, guys, it's been fun tonight. Everyone, like, subscribe if you haven't done already. Again, we are looking for additional broadcasters. So if you are interested, have any experience, or just want to learn, reach out to us, hit us up. We'll be glad to assist you and get you started on that project, or that self-passion project, which has turned into for a lot of us. So reach out to us. We'd love to teach some people, get some people in here that are more interested in doing that, and give ourselves a little bit of a break, especially Guy.
Man, I'll take it. And until then, we will see Tony Sarch and myself. Will be in the booth tomorrow night. Hart, are you going to join?
We'll see. I might not. I'm not sure yet. I have to spend a little bit of time with my wife.
That's what I'm saying. You got to get that wife time. Again, before we let out, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. We all know it is the wives who control how much we get to race and broadcast. So shout out to them, as they, always willing to be super moms as we get to sit here and enjoy our hobbies. But that's going to be it for us. We will catch you tomorrow.
See you, everybody.